Now it's time to talk about multicast, and let me just be completely honest and transparent and vulnerable right now. I was recording myself taking this exam basically for the first time, right? And you've seen me stumble a couple times now, but figured out multicast is one of those technologies, much like QoS, that I just really struggle with. And in this video, I really... It should have been a simple solution, but it wasn't because I had never really worked with multicast within VRFs. So this video is going to be pretty fun if you like watching me stumble and still figure things out. Hang in there because we will get it working again, and enjoy this multicast challenge. Here we go. All right, it is time to keep on keeping on. This time we are going to be tackling multicast. Now, fair warning, multicast is arguably my least favorite thing to cover. It's the thing that I'm weakest at. It's the thing that I've got the most stress and anxiety about. But it's not that there's a lot of content about multicast. Like, there's not a lot of things that you need to know. But that being said, I am definitely going to be brushing up on my CBT nuggets before I go into the exam environment. So with that being said, let's take a look at our multicast tasks and see what I made in store for us. Here we go. Okay, so 11 steps, and they honestly don't look that bad, just like glancing at them at first glance. We've got enable multicast on all devices, enable PIM sparse mode on all devices, so we know we're going to need a rendezvous point. Configure R37 to be the rendezvous point. Use bootstrap router on the loopback 0 interface. Cool. IGMP join requests. Let's see here, just starting streams from 38's loopback, ping, adjust the rendezvous point. Okay, so I've got a feel for what's in store for us. Let's bring up all the routers. It says enable multicast routing on all devices in customer 2, that's green, sites 1, 2, and backbone. So that's the two bright green, lime green, whatever, soft green, I don't know what you want to call it, on the left-hand side of the screen, and then the dark green over here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring up all these devices here. Uh-oh. Let's see. Let's do... Oh, what have I done? Okay, there. And let's do this. And grab this. And I think, honestly, I think this is going to work out okay, just the way it is. Yeah, I'll kind of do that. Let's bring up the switch here. There's R61 down here. That's part of it. 56, and I'll just rearrange these after the fact. 16, 38, and 37, and 9. Cool. So here, let's move that. 37 is going to go here. 38 is going to go there. 56 and 16. Okay, I think we're ready. So enable multicast routing on all devices. So that, because I'm going to be doing the exact same command on all devices, let me delete that real quick. We don't need that anymore. That was from the last video where I was copying and pasting. We're going to be doing, what was it, IP multicast routing. So let's get that going. So that's the first thing you have to do. So now if I do show IP mroute, let's see. Oh, we got to add a PIM interface for actually something to show up. So we'll do that next, which is one of our steps. So when you add it to be, when you actually enable this multicast routing, and then you turn on PIM, it will add an mroute into a multicast route, into the multicast routing table for the auto rendezvous point configuration and features. So that's what I like to check to make sure that everything, is at least turned on. It's a, just a little sanity check. Because if you start enabling PIM on interfaces and you don't see that one particular multicast route, you're wondering why are things not working. It's probably because there's, multicast routing isn't turned on. Okay. Now, enable PIM sparse mode on all active interfaces on all devices, including loopbacks. Okay. So IP PIM sparse, I think it's hyphen mode. IP PIM sparse also works. It won't set it to sparse dense mode. So let's start from the top. Looking at R7, we've got E02, 3, and E01. Interface range E02 through 3, E10, and IP PIM sparse mode. Oh, and the loopback. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. VRF changes going on there. On R9, we're just looking at interface E02 and loopback 0. Doesn't like that loop. Interface range. Okay. PIM sparse mode. 16. So that's going to be down here on the border. We're looking at interface E00. Actually, it's all of them. E00 through 2. And then loopback 0. Sparse mode. Switch 21. I think this is just going to be like interface loopback 0. How about that? Let's just put it on there just for now. I don't think it has any IP addresses. Yeah, just the loopback. We're good there. Switch 37. That's up here in the corner on site 2. We've got interface range. INT range E00 through 1. Sparse mode. I keep forgetting that loopback. There we go. Okay, what was next? Going down the line in E00, so we've got 02, 0, okay, all those. Interface range, E00 through 2, loopback 0, PIM sparse mode, too many PIM sparse modes, and 56 and 61. So 56 is down here on site 1, and 61 is kind of off in the ether. So interface range, E00 through 1, turning on PIM sparse mode, and 61. Interface just E00. PIM sparse mode. Oh yeah, the loopback. Did I forget the loopback on 56? I did. Interface loopback 0. There we go. Did I forget on 38? I did not. Okay, cool. So now if I do show IP mroute, there we go. We see the listening address, or at least we know that somebody out there is trying to participate in the rendezvous point configuration, which is step 3 here. Configure R7 to be the rendezvous point. Use bootstrap router configuration, not AutoRP, and use R37's loopback 0 interface. So just sanity check. Do show run interface loopback 0 because that has to be on. I see PIM sparse mode is turned on there, so that's going to be good. So let's exit out of interface configuration mode, and I got to remember what is IP PIM RP candidate. I think that's it. Yeah. And we're going to put this on loopback 0. And then it's going to be IP PIM BSR candidate. And that's also going to be loopback 0. Okay. So I think that should do the trick. And so there we see the tunnel interfaces coming up. I think that's a good sign. So if I do show IP PIM, what is it? It's like RP something. RP. Nope, nothing there. RP mapping. Oh, I was thinking about something. I think I blew up R37. Okay, well, while it figures life out, we'll just check out to see the tunnel interfaces coming up on all of the other devices tells me that our rendezvous point configuration succeeded there, even though the show commands, there it goes. Okay, so there we go. So we see that we're now the rendezvous point for basically every multicast address, 224 through 239, blah, 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 blah. The source is showing the 37, 37, 37, 37, which is our loopback address, which is good news. Okay, all right. On either R61 or stream receiver, that's down here on the space, configure the device to request streams in group 224, 40, 41. So these little Docker containers, these little servers here, stream receiver and stream server up here, they do have VLC media player in it, so you can actually generate real multicast streams using RTP if you wanted to do that. For me, I'd be surprised if you had something like that in an exam environment. I'd be willing to bet that you may just want to test it out with like IGMP join requests. So that's why I'm going to use R61 here. So since I have PIM up and running on R61's loopback address, I'm going to go into interface loopback 0, and I am going to do IP IGMP join and 224.40.40.1. So what I'm expecting now is it sends the join request up to R7, who turns it into an actual PIM join request. And now this is being sent throughout the topology. So if I look now on R38, I can do show IP mroute. Don't see anything there. So why is that? Let's take a look at let's take a look at R7 first. It could actually be do show IP mroute. It might be that it doesn't like that it's on that loopback. What if I do interface Ethernet 00, IP IGMP join 224.40.40.1? So let's take a look now. Nope. Still not getting anything here. Okay, what about switch 21? Do show IP IGMP groups. No, we're not seeing anything here, are we? Okay. Why is that? Why is R61's IGMP join request not... Okay, what about here? Do show IP and route. Okay. So the route definitely exists here on R61. It never makes it up to R7. Is that because R7 doesn't know how to get there, VRF LAN? It's because... No, R7 should know how to get there. Hang on, one second here. I don't think this device is participating in EIGRP. Okay. Do show IP route, because we need these VRFs in the last one. Okay, do show IP mroute. Let's try it again from... Is there anything else? Don't need to do a source specific. Ah, aha, aha. Okay, now I see the tunnel comes up here. That's a better sign. But still nothing here. Okay, what about you on R37? Show IP mroute. Still nothing. Why is this? Why is this happening? You can get here, right? You can get to 61? Yep. Okay, show IP now. Oop. Okay, making progress. Tell you what, let's do this. Let's move on to the next one just for a second. Because I can't do show IP IGMP groups. I'm just not seeing anything there. Do show run interface Ethernet 02. Yeah, that's on the right VLAN. Do show run interface VLAN. Show run interface Ethernet 00. It's on the right VLAN. We don't have any IGMP snooping that could break it. Everything says to me that this should be working. So let's try this. I'm going to try this one more time on interface E00. say IP IGMP join group 224.40.41. Press enter. And just for fun, I'm going to go into interface loopback 0 and delete this. So now my outgoing interface list is null, which shouldn't be the case. It should be interface Ethernet 0, 0. Do show IP en route. Come on. This is nonsense. Why is this outgoing? Incoming interface is Ethernet 0, 0. The outgoing interface is not Ethernet 0, 0. The RPF check would be to 10.0.99.7, which is correct. And R7 is still not getting this. I hate multicast. Okay. Okay. All right. Just for fun. Do ping 224.40.41 source loopback 0. Okay, nothing was sent. Did R37 receive show IP en route? Okay, so we have the source. Let's see what happens if I actually set it on R7. Interface Ethernet 02. Actually, interface Ethernet 03. Let's do IP IGMP join group 224.40.41. So if I look at 56, does 56 have that? Okay, 56 does have it. Now, when I ping from 38, so I'm going to chalk this up to be maybe a virtualization problem. The switching interface here is what's blowing me up. .56 show IP en route. Okay. Because everything seems to be checking in. Just fine with the rendezvous points here. Hang on. Show IP en route. VRF LAN. Do I have to actually specify the LAN here? Okay. So this could actually be part of it, is that we're trying to do this within a VRF. And that's no fun. This is a mess, okay? It's definitely a mess. Definitely messy there. If I were to jump over to 56 real quick, let's do config interface Ethernet 01 and say IP IGMP join group 224.40.41. Exit out of this. Now when I ping from 38, there, we get the reply. So it's something jacked up with the VRF, for sure. Yes, you can Control C, Control Shift X. Thank you. Wait, VRF definition, LAN, address family, IPv4, multicast. There we go. Yes. Address family, IPv4, multicast. Okay. Let's see if that did anything. Do show the mroute VRF LAN? No, not really. Okay. It could be something as simple as IP multicast routing for this VRF that we need to turn on. Show IP mroute VRF LAN. Yeah. Yep. Yep, that's it. You have to turn on multicast routing for the VRF. So IP multicast routing turns on IP multicast routing for the global routing table. It doesn't turn it on for your specific VRF. So you do IP multicast routing for VRF LAN, and sure enough, there you go. There it is, right there. Okay, cool. So pinging things now, you get replies. That's good news. Okay, so there you go. VRF specific multicast turned on with IP multicast routing VRF. Okay. So now we've got some more fun stuff to do here. See, and there's the reply from R7. Finally, come on, Control Shift 6. You can stop. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, the next steps. Create a new loopback address on R37. So let's do that. Interface loopback 1. And let's call it IP address. How about 137.137.137.137.255.255.255.255. Okay. Configure the new loopback address to be. Oh wait, no, I skipped step 7. Adjust the rendezvous point to only be the rendezvous point for 224.4. Okay. So that is needing to specify a group list. So first, let's create an ACL, IP access list. Let's call this loop 1 RP for rendezvous point. And, didn't like something. IP access list standard, loop 1 RP. Permit IP 224.40.41. We wanted to know. Oh, you. That's, yep. Thinking extended there for a second. Man. IP access list standard loop 1 RP permit. Let's just say host 224 40 41. Exit out of this. Now we got to adjust our RP configuration. Do show run section PIM maybe. Let's see if that shows me. Cool. Okay, so we're going to do IP PIM RP candidate loopback 0 group list, and then we call this loop 1 RP. Do the same thing for the BSR candidate, right? Okay, there is no group for the BSR candidate. That's just loop 0. Yeah, cool. So that should do the trick for this. Let's do end show IP PIM RP mapping. It does take a second for this to take effect. I'm pretty sure that this could take a while for this to actually take effect. I've seen it take a few seconds before to bounce this group information. So we're going to let it think for a bit. There's the specific group right there. That's pretty cool. Man, look at how slow it takes to run this show command. Show up IP PIM RP. Okay, so I know that that's going to work. So I'm just going to leave this alone while it tries to figure that out. The next thing it says, configure the new loopback address to be a BIDR BSR RP for group 224 40 42. So we're going to be creating another group. This is going to be a BIDR PIM, and it's going to be a bootstrap router configuration. So in order to do BIDR, we have to turn BIDR on. IP PIM BIDR enable, right? So let's copy this. We have to turn it on every single router in the topology. So, boop. Oh man, I wonder if I have to do that on a VRF too. IP PIM VRF LAN. Yep, look at that. BIDR. Oh, there is no BIDR enable. Yeah, there is no BIDR enable for the VRF level configuration. So it might just be BIDR enable just to turn it on. Okay, so we're probably good there. Now to R9, which is up at the top. IP PIM BIDR enable 16. IP PIM BIDR enable. You know, BIDR PIM, I feel like that should just be the default, because, you know, you could have streams coming from a lot of different sources into a lot of different destinations. I don't know. Maybe I'm just lazy and it feels like why would I not just do BIDR PIM everywhere? It's like a couple extra commands. That's it. There's nothing to it. Okay, and exit here. Boop, there. Okay. Just for fun, I'm going to send one more join request there. Okay. Okay. Now we got to enable this. We actually have to make this to be the BIDR PIM thing. So we're going to do another access list, IP access list, because it did specify this has to be the RP for that. So we're going to call this BIDR PIM, something, I don't know. It's got to be standard again. It doesn't have to be standard, but I'm making it standard. Permit host 224, we said 4042 for this group. Okay, now I can go IP PIM RP announce, nope, not filter, IP PIM, what was it, RP candidate. And we were going to say this is going to be loopback 1, and now I can say BIDR. So I'm going to say group list first. We called that, what do we call it? BIDR PIM. And now I can say BIDR. PIM v2 not configured. Oh, yeah, duh. IP PIM sparsement. Exit. Now I can run the command. Okay, and now I can say IP PIM BSR candidate loopback 1. No group lists, so let's just hit enter. Okay, so at this point we should have that configuration up and running. Now we want to send a join request from R38's loopback. Okay, so interface loopback 0. We'll say IP IGMP join 224.40.42. R37 should be receiving this now. Okay, yep. And I see it's, of course, got the byter configuration right here. So now it says send a ping from R61's loopback to 224.40.42. Man, I wonder if R7 is going to make that happen. Show IP mroute VRF LAN. No, I'm not seeing it coming inbound there, am I? I'm sure not. Let's see what happens. Do ping 224. I feel like this ain't going to work, but we'll see. Source loopback 0. No dice. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that traffic is not making it up to R7. I really feel like this is something to do with that switch in the way there. Because I feel like also if I go to R7 here and I just did like ping 224.40.42 source from loopback 0, I don't know. Maybe not. Source from Ethernet 02 or Ethernet 03. No. Show IP mroute VRF LAN. Show run section VRF. What do we have going on here? So I'm going to try and statically configure the rendezvous point. I just had this idea. So IP PIM was an RP address, right? Let's say 37, 37, 37, 37. Do I have to specify a specific group? Just statically set it. Tunnel state went down. VRF LAN. Okay. Nexus this. Host 224.40.41. Let's do IP PIM VRF LAN RP address. Wait, did I specify that? Okay, well, that would definitely do it. 37, 37, 37, 37. Okay, tunnel state changed to up. So if I do show IP PIM VRF LAN RP, it's Ethernet E02. Let's try this just for fun. IP IGMP join group 224.40.42. Let's see if it finds that. Okay. So progress being made there. And if, just for fun, if R16 tries to ping, do ping 104042, source from like loopback 0. Okay, so we actually get a reply from R7, which is cool. So now if I do show IP mroute, very cool. Okay, so we've got some VRF configuration done there too. For whatever reason, 61 is just not playing nicely. I really think it's because of that switch. I really think there's, I've read and I've heard other trainers talk about the switch in a virtualized environment just blows up multicast for some reason. It's got to be because like MAC address translations within the virtualized environment don't do well. So if I try to do like do ping 224, 40, 42, source loopback 0, like this packet's not even making it there. So, you know, I can also do like an R7. I can do show IP PIM VRF LAN neighbors. I can see the neighbor adjacency is up. So like PIM is able to communicate somehow, but any register messages or any join messages, it's, you know, it's not even like IGMP snooping wasn't even enabled on this device, right? I went in Internet Ethernet E0/2. Oop, config T. Interface Ethernet E0/2 IP IGMP snooping. Like if I turned it on, show IP IGMP groups and show IP IGMP groups. So if I keep trying to do these things and the switch keeps blowing up, I really think it's dying at the switch. Something is going on there that's not allowing traffic to go into R7 and then make its way forward. Okay, but for the most part, we have multicast ping ability from all the devices except R61, and I'm telling you, I really think it's because there's a switch in the way. Yeah. So the thing is we created that loopback, and then none of the other devices knew how to get to that loopback because we didn't advertise it into EIGRP. That was over here on R37, right? So why don't we take care of that real quick? I'm going to go into IPv4 unicast, autonomous system 50. It's a big part of that multicast routing is you have to have the underlay as well. And that's where I got myself on this one. So now all the devices in the topology should be finding their way to the new interface. So let's do this. Back here on R61, I'll do show IP route. I now see the address to 137. Can I ping it? Ping 137, 137, 137, 137. Let's say source from my loopback, round trip. Okay, so on R61, I created access lists. So let's do section access. You can see those access lists. Now I'm going to statically set my rendezvous point for those. Actually, let's just say do show IP PIM RP. Yeah, that's definitely wrong. So let's do show run section PIM, and let's do no IP PIM RP address. So let's take away the statically set rendezvous point. Now let's say IP PIM RP address 137, 137, 137, 137, specifying the ACL, which was biter PIM. Let's see, is there anything else I need to do here? It is a biter shared tree here, so we'll hit enter there. Let's also do 37 at 37, 37. So we're statically assigning the rendezvous point here on R61, specifying what group it should be a rendezvous point for using the ACL Don't have to do anything there. And show IP PIM. Okay, RP. Cool. I see those up now. So now, if I were to try ping 224.40.42, source loopback 0. Let's see if I jump over to R7, 37 here, and okay, that's a good sign, I think. Okay, couple requests there. Let's see what I've got going on here. Do show IP PIM RP. Okay, so it looks like all the automatic ones, this is one R16 here, over here. I did not statically assign this. It looks like it's automatically changed to have the correct group. So now if I do show IP PIM RP on R38, looking good there. If I go into config, let's just say interface Ethernet, let's say interface loopback 0. Let's do an IP IGMP join group 224.40.42. Pretty sure I've got do show run interface loopback 0. Let's see that. Okay, yep, I've got sparse mode turned on there. So that's looking okay. On R37, if I give it a show IP PIM route, okay, I see everything here is bidirectional. That's a good sign. So if I ping now, is it actually going to work? No. Let's see what R7 has going on here. Show IP PIM RP. Okay. So R7 does not know who the rendezvous point is. So let's do section PIM. That's because we have a static rendezvous point set here. Okay, so let's do this. Show run section access list. Let's grab these access lists and statically assign them over here on R7. Okay, now let's first delete this right here. No, I don't want to get rid of that. Let's say no to the VRF configuration too. Okay, so far so good. Let's do IP PIM VRF LAN RP address and specify this is going to be our loop 1 RP. So that's going to bring up the address. Yeah, the address 37 loop 1 RP. And now what do we have here? Okay, interesting debug message. Let's do 137. This is going to be for biter PIM is going to be our access list, and we're going to specify this is going to be bidirectional. So let's see this debug message. Let's see if anything comes up here. Maybe not. Maybe nothing at all comes up. But I do have a route to it. Do show IP route VRF LAN. Yeah, I do. So now if I do show IP PIM rendezvous point. Nope, nothing there. Do show IP PIM VRF LAN rendezvous point. Okay. I see an uptime there, which is good news. Okay, so now if I were to do ping VRF LAN 224.40.42, source for my loopback, which I'm pretty sure is in everybody else's routing table. Do show IP route. Can they all see 7777? They cannot. Okay, well that could be a problem. Nobody else knows how to get to that loopback address. Let's try this. Not source from my loopback. Source from E03. Ah, look at that. Okay. All right. So the original IGMP request that came from 61 is now successfully making it back to 61, as well as R38. So that looks like that was the issue there. We had some VRF specific configurations here. Look at that. I even got some going on in other routers too. Oh, my own router. Look at that. The secret sauce that made this work came down to be doing like do show IPPIM RP and seeing that my rendezvous, first of all, that none of my devices could reach the address of 137, 137, 137, 137 because we created it but didn't advertise it in the EIGRP. That had to be fixed. The BSR advertisements appeared to be working up till it reached router 7, probably because of some VRF configuration tomfoolery there. But statically setting them appears to have fixed it by creating the access lists, and then let's do show run section PIM. Notice we do specify the BIDR flag on the bidirectional one too. So there we have it. Now multicast is working. Thanks for stopping by, y'all. I'll see you in the next one.